Hello friends, so hope you are doing well, and this is a comprehensive guide to obtain your US B1 B2 visas, and completely based on my experience while obtaining the same. I had to run through a lot of details, right? So while talking to different people, collect all the details that I was getting my hands on to. So it's a compressed version of all that learnings that I have done to obtain my B1 B2 visa, and which I just recently got last week. So this is my initiative to bring in all the details in one short space and for my future reference. So please do your due diligence while filling all the details, and do not just follow my video blindly. Okay, so these are all details that I feel that should be used while applying for your B1 and B2 visas, right? So the next what I'm going to talk in this video is to how to apply for the US B1 B2 visa, understand the requirement for it, and navigate the interview process. So the very first step will be to file your DS-160, and how to do that we will be talking about more in detail on those steps, how to fill in the application, how to register online and all that stuff. Once you are done with that, then there is a visa payment process. Like for me, it was I applied from Mexico City, so I logged into AIS.com, and I have provided all the links in the description. So same way, you have to go to your respective interview scheduling process, pay the visa fee, and then the final step will be to get a date and appear for the interview. So for AIS related any disclosure you need to, because for Mexico City it was, the wait time was for 2 years, but to get an earliest interview visa process, you can reach out to me separately. I will provide you my email ID and other stuff, so you can directly contact me on Telegram and ask me questions on how to quickly get your visas appointment. But DS-160 and all those things are pretty most of the details are personal, and you can apply on your own, and we will see in a few minutes. I will just run through the application form and in the next step. So here is there are 3 key steps of it, like creating an application, store that application ID. Once you access DS-160 form using that application ID and the password and everything, once you create it, the second step will be to complete the form sections. I think there are a number of sections that you have to fill in with your personal details, your who will be your point of contact there, and all those details. So you have to navigate through all sections, and anytime you feel that you don't have any data, so do not put anything that is not correct. Instead, you can just save, and you can re-access your application form, DS-160 form, and update the details later point of time. So it's like once the application is created, it stays in the system for 6 months is what currently I know about it, and it can be reused whenever you want, and you can get your application again started filled in. And the last step is, once you submit it, there is no going back. So whatever details you have filled in with your name and passport numbers and everything, it gets captured in the system, and it will be used in your interview. So there should not be any divergence from what you fill in and what you tell in your interview process, right? So make sure you have all the details before hand, and once you are applying the application form, you can save it at any of the steps, and then once you complete it and submit it, you will have a confirmation mail. Okay, so print it out, because that will be required as a physical copy when you go for your interview, and you will see what all documents are needed, right, in the next slides. So going up to next, right? So here you see the application form. Just a minute. So yeah, so here is the application form. You see when you log into the system in the link. Once you create the application ID, this is the application ID, you can capture and keep it, and there are some security question answers that you can provide, while like what is your name, siblings, birth date, month of the year, or something like that. So whatever you feel you will remember it, make sure you put in that and provide that details. Now next section will be your personal details, travel details. All those details you have to fill in very accurately. Provide some surname, name, and all these details you have to fill in. You have to provide details of your what is your marital status, what is your birth date, sex, all these details, and it should be precise, right? So whatever is on your passport, you can refer to those details, and then only started putting here. Put your seat, like place of birth and state and everything, country, all those details has to be precise as per your passport. Okay, once you, and whenever at any step, you can keep on saving for your next page. Now here you see you can provide your country details. What is the nationality? Is it a different nationality? If you have an SSN US number, if you have been to US earlier, you can put those details and you can save it, right? So all those details you have to fill in, and if it is not applicable, just click on do not apply. Okay, what will be your purpose of visit? So here it will be visitor's visa, right? So you can put visitor visa B1 B2 like that, business and tourism if you want to apply for both. But now recently what I have noticed is if you select B2 also, the visa will be provided for B1 and B2 as well. So any option is fine based on whatever is your requirement. If you have any tentative plans, don't worry about it. It is not a hardline date that you have to travel on that date, but make sure you have some plan. Like when you are going for an interview, take those dates as a reference for you, that on these dates I will be going to meet someone, and I have plans to visit some places, and all those details. So say if you are staying at a hotel, so provide this hotel address, its name. So you can put anything. It doesn't matter like whether you are actually gonna stay in that place, in that hotel, but it is just for your reference and to provide the same details in your interview. Okay, so let's go to the next part of it. And here you have any companions. If you are traveling with someone else, you can say yes and provide those details, application IDs and everything. And if it is no, you can just click on no. Next, you have previous US travel trips, whether you have been to US, you have denied or issued a visa. So all those options you have to clearly mark, whether you have been if you have been refused earlier, so you have to provide a description why it was refused and all those details. And next section will be your address. So current address, mostly I would prefer to put all those details. Although you are staying at some permanent temporary residency, use an home address that is provided in your passport, right? So you can put all those details, and then usually keep this home address same as mailing address also. If someone is not staying at that place, then only you put a different address, right? Additional phone numbers, all those details, whatever you have, you try to put it wherever it is needed. If you don't see a need for any additional number or anything like that, you skip it. Email address, make sure it is a working email ID of yours, so that all the communication you can receive from the embassy, right? And then you have any social media accounts, those details also they are asking, so you can provide your Facebook ID, social media identifier, or if you say you are an influencer on YouTube, so you can provide all those details of your social media platform and those activities if it is very actively used. Then going on to the next part, it is most crucial details. Like here you don't want to provide any wrong details, so please make sure you have filled in all these details correctly, where the passport like where it was issued, which state, which country, and the number, issue date and expiry date and everything, right? And I would suggest, if you have an passport that is going to expire, first make sure you have more than 6 months on your passport, whichever details you are providing. Or if it is going to expire within 6 months, probably best to get a passport renewed, right? Then if you have any point of contact in US, please provide those details. If not, I think it's fine, just provide that same hotel details that you will be staying in, right? So that you earlier provided, you just add those same details. But if you have a point of contact in US, you can provide their name and address, and you can also take an invitation letter, as I did in my case. So you can have that handy, provide all those details here, and whatever the details of that hotel, I don't see a need of it, but it should not be accurate, but make sure it should be as close as possible. Okay, and on the last part will be your family details, your father's name, given name, date of birth, and all those details you have to put in. And then your mother's name and date of birth, and all these details will be needed, right? So make sure you put in all these details correctly. Okay, make sure your father and mother name is as per your passport, right? So once you save all this information, then the next part will be your the details for your work, right? So how if you are a student or if you are working, all that details you have to provide for your company name, address, phone number, country, all those details you have to provide. If you are a student, then you provide your college related details, monthly income, and all those details you have to provide in. Okay, and let's go to the next step, and the last and final step will be your security and background details, right? So once you go in that next section, so sorry, before that you will have to say whether what was your previous employment. If you have more than one employment, so you can select yes, no, and all the details, and you can provide all these details here, right? And finally, if there are any additional details on language, in the same work education and all this part, you have to provide all your languages that you speak, and select all this accordingly. Like if you have traveled to any other countries, you belong to any contribute to any groups, organization for charitable, and all those details, right? So you have to put in all these details. Yeah, so next is security details. You have to provide all the security related checks, and mostly it is no, right? So if you have engaged in any criminal activities and unlawful activities, so Okay, you can specify whatever it is, right? So you have to mark it, and then I think this is the last part of it. So once you have completed all these details, you make sure you have, you know, correctly mentioned everything in the security background options, and just say submit, right? So this is how you apply for DS-160. So now once the DS-160 is completed and you have submitted, and now you have a confirmation page, okay, after selecting all these options and, you know, finally going to submit, you will receive a mail saying this is your DS-160 application ID and everything. So keep that handy. That will be needed when we go for our documentation part, right? So next step is streamlining your visa process. So what does that mean is we have to make sure all our documents are aligned and we have all the things that is needed for our process to, gets like when you go to for our biometrics and all our documentations are in place. So for that one more step is needed, where we have to go for our visa processing fee, right? So create an account on AIS system. The link is in description, and you have to first create your account, provide some details there along with your DS-160 application ID, and some more details are needed there. And then we will talk about what things to be remembered while booking an appointment, right? So you can reschedule it at multiple times at any given time, right? So you can get whatever details you have provided for DS-160 handy while creating an AIS account there, right? So once that is done, what you have to do is you have to get all your things aligned, right? So for creating a visa interview account, right, so you will need to visit the AI site and provide all those details. Then you have to log in, and you have to use your same email ID, or you can use your new email ID, creating a credential there. Then you can select the same visa type that you have used for creating your DS-160 and enter the confirmation ID details and all the essential details there are, right? So once you have updated there, visa application process is like you have to you have already given your personal details, right? So you have to choose your location and date and all like where you are gonna book your interview, like where you have, so while creating your DS-160 you have selected a location, right? So same location you have to select here as well, and then you have to confirm your appointment and gather all the necessary documents that are needed for the process to get completed, right? So these are 4 steps, crucial steps in AIS website. So once you provide all your details, location details, confirmation of your appointment is done, whatever dates are available, once you do that, you have to do the documentation collection part, right? So what are the documentations needed for B1 and B2? So the first thing is valid passport. You must have that passport which is at least 6 months beyond your stay, right? So it should be valid up to at least say 1 year from now, or whenever you are applying it, right? And then there you should have your DS-160 confirmation page with the barcode generated. It should have that clear code barcode in the print, right? Then you have to have your visa application fee receipt, which will have your proof of payment, right? When you have paid that receipt, it may be via bank transfer, or it may be you may have to go to a bank with those bank details and pay the fee there and get the confirmation ID from them, right? And have that handy while you carry all your documents. Then you have to create your travel itinerary. Basically you need not to book your tickets or book your accommodation, but it should be a concrete plan. Say like when I was going on November 3rd, I told them my plan is to go for Christmas. Like I will be traveling on 23rd of December, and then I will be staying at my friend's house for a week, and then I will be going to Houston and then New York for the New Year's Eve. So that is my plan of 2 weeks. So I created an itinerary on a page with all those details, and I also had a temporary, like before paying, right? So you can get your itinerary from the flight details also from any websites where you can book the flight like without paying. Just give the itinerary of your timetable of your flight details, and then proof of your ties to the home country. So that is most crucial part of the documentation, just because the embassy folks need to know like whether when you are traveling back, what are the proof of ties to your home country, or if you don't have, there may be an ill intention of not going back to the home country, right? So you have to provide all the home country related details, employment related details. You can have your family ties, you have family, if you're married you have everyone at home, and then if you are employed you have your 6 months pay slips and bank statements. So all those details are very crucial for them. So and the financial documents of your bank. So say whatever salary, if you are a salaried person like me, you have a bank statement which is where monthly salary is credited, so that will show like your proof of employment as well as bank statement that your pay slips are getting generated, but it is also credited in your bank account, and other evidences that demonstrate that you are financially stable and can cover your trip expenses. Because B1 B2, you are not going for any income, right? So you will be spending money and you are able to cover your trip expenses. That details has to be clearly shown there. And then you should, if it is possible, if you have someone there, you can just have an invitation letter printed out with those details of the person you are visiting, with his address and where he works for, and a quick note of, I will be providing an invitation letter sample that I used. I will also attach an itinerary of what I have created using GoIBibo, and then other details that I had, I will be putting it in the description, or you can reach out to me on my Telegram handle, right? So that are details you need. For F1 student visa, I'm not covering that part here, but this is just for your information, that like Form I-20, DS-160 confirmation page and other details for Form 60 for your F1 visa, right? So you can carry all those documents, and that are listed on the website of the embassy, right? So you can refer all those details, like service fee receipt, visa application fee receipt, valid passport, photograph. I think photograph is something that is also needed in F1, but I'm not sure about it again. Now to navigate that interview process, you have to prepare all the documents that I just now talked about. Then be like dress professionally, wear formal attire. It doesn't mean that you have to have a coat or coat tie, but have a decent dress, okay? And answer honestly. So this is most crucial part, like be truthful and make sure that you convince the person on another end that you are traveling for leisure. You have this plan in hand. You can support your family back in India when you are out. You can have your trip planned, and you can spend, if someone is also spending on behalf of you, provide all those details there and answer honestly for whatever questions have been asked, right? And then on the next part is mostly like when you go for the interview, there may be chances he may like the person who is taking an interview may ask you this a number of questions, like what is your purpose of the visit, how long will you be staying in United States, what is your occupation and employer, provide the details about your itinerary, like do you have any family or relatives in US, do you have your ties to home country, all those details. And here is a sample question and answer is that I have prepared. But for me it was, what is the question 3 here, what is your occupation and the employer, and based on my employer details, he was well convinced that I have been, there is a good background for me to support everything while traveling, right? So that's the only question was asked to me, but here is some sample questions for your preparation. So yeah, tips are common practices, like practice these question and answers, write them down, demonstrate that you have ties to your country, be confident and polite while you talk. And visa approvals are 85%, 15% chances that it get rejected. If they are not convinced, they may ask for more documents and come back with and may ask you to come back with additional documents, okay, in case. But if you are following my list, there are no chance that they may ask for any additional documents, right? And then once you are like done, these are the benefits of having a B2 visa. So B1 B2 visas are for 10 years, right, as you all know, and you can stay at least for 6 months, like maximum for 6 months at a stretch. And once you have that visa in your passport, it also helps you. There are a list of countries that you can visit apart from US without visa, if you have a US visa, right? So it helps you get any like you can attend the conference for or professional events, you can have tourism there or medical purpose or anything like that. You can avail your trip there. Yeah, so some popular destinations you may want to visit. So yeah, that would be it, and best of luck for your journey and to get your visa. I hope you get it through. Thank you.